Hello everyone, welcome back to Conquests of Camelot. Okay, so, as usual, I have a few things that I want to catch up on, things that people have commented on or otherwise informed me of, or which I've otherwise become aware of. So one thing that I do want to show regarding crossing the ice here. So last time I did that with the message of the rose, with that flurry of rose petals that shows you where to go. Somebody did point out, if you have the crystal heart here, you can just say use heart, and it actually shows you the heart there in the corner. Let me get the mouse cursor out of the way. And what this actually does is, if you step out onto the ice, it changes color if you're close to thin ice. So, like, I'm just very cautiously going, oh, I need to go around that ridge there. See, it changes color like that if you're on thin ice, so that kind of gives you an opportunity to step back. But I find it quite difficult to use because you're not really aware of where to go. You need to, yeah, see, it doesn't give you much warning. Like, the ice there is already cracking, so most of the time, even without using the heart, like, sorry, even without using the heart like this, you'll usually see the ice start cracking before you fall in. So even without the heart, you can just kind of use that as a visual guide to say, oh, I need to go back. I mean, the heart gives you a little bit more advanced warning time, I guess, but yes, see that? It's not very reliable. Like, it doesn't show you where to go. It just kind of acts as an extra warning. So I wouldn't really want to try using the heart to go across the ice. And by the way, I did check out the path. The path that you follow is really not that complicated. Basically, for each screen of the ice, there's just like there are a couple of bends in the path, but I think like on this first screen, it kind of goes something like this. And then on the next screen, it's just like a kind of a loop like that, and then the final screen it's just like that, kind of like almost like the U-bend of under a sink, like under a kitchen sink or bathroom sink. So the patterns are not that complicated, but it's really hard to see. Even with the heart, it's really hard to see where you need to go. So I would definitely use the rose petals. I wouldn't recommend trying to do this just with the crystal heart, unless you want an extra challenge, I guess, in which case you can do it without the heart and just... I mean, it's not that difficult. It's just, it does take some trial and error, I think. Also, somebody pointed out, and this is kind of... Let's see, where do I want to... yeah, so if I go to Southampton, so I had the question of how do you find out what the different trips cost, because I was trying to tell the guy I want to go here, and he was saying, oh, you didn't give me enough money. I was like, yeah, okay, how much money is it? You can actually just say ask about prices, and he'll give you the prices. So yeah, so you have 5 options here, and that's what they cost. Also, I didn't realize this, but there's something kind of cool. You can actually go to all of these places. Well, you can try to go to all these places. So let me just take a few minutes to show you what happens, because each of these has a different result, which is kind of unique. So let me see. So let's do these in order. So let's go to Dublin for 1 silver coin. So buy trip to Dublin, and it was 1 silver coin. So he says the same thing. He says, as fortune would have it, this ship is the very one you need. Ignore the Greek name. I don't know. I guess this is just a contrivance of the game. I just find it kind of funny. It's like, no matter where you're going, to each of the 5 destinations, it just magically happens that this ship that he's standing in front of is the very ship that you need. Just a little bit of adventure game magic there, just a little bit of Deus Ex Machina from the game. All right, so let's get on board. Let's go to Dublin. Aye, laddie. We're going to Ireland. Oh, that's a jolly wee trip in it now. Captain beats his way expertly up St. George's Channel toward Dublin. Alas! A longship of crazed Vikings falls upon the ship. Excalibur sings from its sheath and does mighty work. The decks run red, but you're overwhelmed and killed in combat with a berserker. My love for you is like a truck berserker. So yeah, that's that. We died, in case you couldn't tell. So yeah, that's actually... And yeah, you might guess, and you'd be correct, all of the destinations do that, except for Gaza. So that's kind of the game's way of telling you, in case it wasn't obvious enough, in case like two different people telling you that you have to go to Gaza, in case two people telling you wasn't enough, this is sort of like a little confirmation. Yeah, you need to go to Gaza. The other places kill you. But let's just see, because the deaths are unique. Each of them has a unique sort of fate waiting for you. So let's go to Rennes, which is 2 silver coins. So buy trip to Rennes. 2 silver coins this time. A quick voyage brings you to the northern coast of Brittany, where you're tragically dashed to death upon jagged rocks. Just like in King's Quest VI. That was that. Okay, that was fairly straightforward. Hardly had time to get out on the water before we died. All right. What else do we have? So... okay, Rome, obviously, is a little farther, so that's 1 gold coin. So buy trip to Rome. Give the wee laddie a gold coin. Aye, as fortunate have it, this ship is the very one you need. Aye, let's get on board. Many days and nights pass in cramped discomfort. The coastline of Muslim-held Iberia glides past. Yes, the Iberian Peninsula was held by Muslims at this time, I guess, still. You land briefly in Tunis, ruled by Muslims of the Aghlabid Emirate under the Abbasid Empire. Soon you'll reach Rome. Approaching Rome, your ship is caught in a powerful storm. You are washed overboard, and your armor quickly drags you to the bottom of the sea. Well, that was that. And the last one was Thessaloniki, which is basically the second city of Greece after Athens. And you can actually just say, hold on, what was the price there? Thessalonica is 2 gold coins. Rather than say typing in the city name, you can actually say just buy a trip to Greece, and he'll know what you mean because there's only one destination in Greece. So it's given 2 gold coins this time. As fortune would have it, blah, blah. Okay, let's see what happens when we try to go to Thessalonica. The skilled captain beats past Celtic Brittany with all speed thanks to good winds. At Malaga, you get your first sight of those who worship Islam. Their manners and dress are strange to you, yet they are hospitable to any man who worships the one God, no matter by what name he is called. In Tunis, the worshippers of Allah seem much the same, but are ruled instead by the Aghlabid Emirate under the Abbasid Empire. A little bit of a history lesson there. As you approach Athens, a corsair filled with Saracen pirates overtakes your ship. You fight like the great warrior you are, but the Saracens are many and merciless. You are finally cut down and thrown to the fish. Saracens, for those who don't know, actually I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right. Is it Saracen? Saracen? I don't know. It's kind of a medieval word for Muslims. It's basically an exonym, meaning, you know, a word used for foreign people. So it was a then in use word in Christian Europe referring to Muslims, but it's not used today. And also, I think I said in the last video that Malaga is in Africa. Obviously, it's not. It's in southern Spain. Tunisia is in northern Africa here, but Malaga is obviously not. I actually didn't know that. I've been through Spain, but I've not been to the south coast of Spain, so I'm not familiar with the geography there, unfortunately. Okay, so there you go. So that's what happens when you try to go to the 4 different places. So yeah, the only place you can go is Gaza. Because other places will kill you. So let's go ahead and restore the game where we landed here in Gaza. Now, we have the decision, obviously. Do we want to go with the boy who begged us to come with him, or do we want to go with that guy, who I think, by the way, I get the feeling he served as kind of a template for Adavis in the Quest for Glory games. I kind of get the feeling that he... in fact, a lot of what we're going to see here... so we're about halfway through the game now. So the first half of the game was, of course, in England, and the second half of the game will transpire here in the, Arab, Muslim, Middle Eastern kind of world, because obviously this is before Israel returned to the Jews. I mean, Israel, modern day, present day Israel was only created after World War II. So at this point in history, when the game takes place, this was still the Arab Muslim world, and Jews didn't really have their own indigenous nation state as they have presently. So we have the decision. You might kind of get the idea that this guy is kind of a little bit shady and the boy seems more trustworthy. But, first impressions can be deceiving, right? I mean, yeah, boys, young boys can often seem very, very sincere and very nice. But especially in poorer places like this, young children are often trained to be thieves. They're trained to appeal to people's better nature and try to, appear innocent and lead people to places where people will be robbed. And children are paid to act as decoys, let's say, for thieves. So you kind of have to be careful. We're in a dangerous place here, and this game's portrayal of the Muslim world is, to be honest, not very sympathetic. So we're going to see some kind of negative portrayals here as we go along. But let me show you what happens if you ignore both of these people. You can ignore both of these people and just say, you know what, screw you guys. I'm just going to go it alone. And this happens. This guy somehow teleports here. I knew you must come this way, and see, I've gotten here before you and waited. You will never survive this desert without my help. Hire me and I will be your guide. So this guy, this dry and hard man, he is... you can tell he's fairly persistent. He's going to keep bugging us as I think Borat said, if you'll excuse me, he is a pain in my assholes. He is going to keep pestering us, so it's not like we will never see him again if we ignore him on the first screen. And as it turns out, we do need to talk to that boy. The boy is, in fact, honest. He's not a thief. He's not going to try to trick us or rip us off. So we do need to talk to the boy. So let's just talk to boy. It is true my master is poor, but he is a good man and he knows so many things. And while you speak with Alcirat, I can care for your poor mule after her long sea journey. Please do not delay long, sir. Gaza is no longer safe for foreigners, and no man here will aid you in any way except my master. Like I said, you have to be careful. If anybody, even a child, ever tells you this in a place like this, and by a place like this, I mean... let's be honest, a poor country which has some reputation for crime and taking advantage of people who are perceived as wealthy foreign tourists. You have to be careful. If anybody ever says this to you, don't believe them. People will say this kind of thing to you. They'll say, "Oh, I want to help you. Come with me. I'll show you. I'll show you where you can go." And very often they'll try to rip you off. Use common sense. I mean, if somebody offers you something, you can listen, you can kind of consider it, but don't get suckered into something. Don't follow people into dark alleys or places like that. You can very easily get. I've luckily not been to too many places like this, but I've been to some. I've definitely been to poor places where there are people who prey on again, people who are perceived to be wealthy foreign tourists, which basically means anybody who obviously comes from the West. So, but in this case, you can just say, go with boy. In this game, the boy is honest. So you just say, go with boy. You are the wisest of men, sir, except for my master. Please follow me. The desert lies ahead. You will never cross it without my help. Yeah, but we'll see that guy again later anyway. It is good that you have come. The captain sent word to me that you were here, though in truth I've been expecting you for some time. I am Alcirat. I can see that from the title on your text box, sir. The first of 6 guardians who serve the goddess. She who gives the power of life and regeneration through her sacred cup, which you know as the Grail. Isn't the Holy Grail something from Jesus? Like, it doesn't come from a goddess, it comes from Jesus. We who are the 6 guardians will test you in different ways. We will test your mind, spirit, and body. You must pass each one of us before the goddess will relinquish her sacred cup to you. I guess Jesus Christ is not really a thing in Islam. Actually, Islam acknowledges Jesus, but it acknowledges Jesus as a prophet and not as, the Savior Messiah, which Christians consider him to be. Excuse me, Master, I fed and watered the meal for your guest, as you said. Thank you, Hazm. Wait with the mule until our guest is ready to leave. Then you will guide him in secret away from Gaza. I am a scholar. I have spent my life in study and meditation. I am at your disposal to share what knowledge I may. Now, I have to be honest, at this point, I really don't know how you're supposed to know exactly what you're supposed to ask the guy. And please, allow me to offer you kawa to drink and figs to eat. It is simple fare, but all that I have. Hey, figs are okay. Figs, don't knock figs. Figs are all right. Let's eat the figs. And drink the kawa. I don't know what. None for me, thank you. I don't know what kawa is. I don't know if it's alcoholic or what, but anyway. Okay, I have to be honest. At this point, I don't really know how you're. Let me quickly save. With the scholar. I don't know how you're supposed to know what you need to ask this guy. You need to ask him several very specific things, and I'm not sure. Again, I have like I was saying before with some things in the game, I don't know if there's like a way to figure it out, or if you just kind of have to know, or where you get the information from. So let's talk to the guy and see what he has to say. I am ready to answer what inquiries you put to me. Think carefully and neglect nothing, for you will not see me again once you leave here. Yeah, that is true. So I'm just going to resort to a walkthrough because walkthroughs will tell you everything that you need to ask this cat. And honestly, like I said, otherwise, I have no idea how you would know what you're supposed to ask him. So I'm just gonna go through the laundry list of things that we're supposed to ask this guy. So first, let's ask him about Galahad, if I can spell it correctly. He who came before you searched long and far, yet he did not come here, though I sent Hazm with an invitation. Ooh, that wasn't very wise of Galahad. Actually, it probably was. Like I said, in places, I know nothing more of him save that he reached Jerusalem, but has not succeeded in his quest. It probably was wise. I mean, like I said, honestly, if I was in a place like this, and a kid came up to me and said, I know some wise old master who will help you, I would say, yeah, sure, kid, thanks for the offer, but no thank you, because I would know that's a scam. Like those are trained thieves doing stuff like that. So, but anyway, so I actually can't really blame Galahad for saying, no thanks. Okay, let's ask this guy about the Grail, which is what we're looking for, isn't it? 6 guardians stand between you and this sacred cup. 6 times you will be judged, weighed, and tested. They will be tests of mind, spirit, and body. I just noticed this guy is not using Oxford commas, and that annoys me greatly. I'm very picky about Oxford commas. I like Oxford commas, although I realize I might be in the minority there. If you prevail, the goddess will relinquish her guardianship of the sacred cup. What you call the Holy Grail will pass into your hands, and its powers of regeneration will be yours. Okay. I was kind of aware of that already, sir. It's not really, I mean, quite frankly, it's not really new information there, but okay. Ask about the Guardians. I guess you just kind of follow the prompts. Like he'll prompt you with things to ask about. So obviously you want to ask about the Grail. That's an obvious thing to ask about because it's the whole MacGuffin of this game. And then he starts talking about Guardians and the goddess and things like that. So okay, so let's ask him about the Guardians. There are 6 you must pass. I am the first. I think I asked about guardians, plural, so it's nice that you're the first, but I'd like to know about the other 5, sir. Okay, fine. Ask about goddess. The goddess gave birth to the universe. By many names and faces she is known, as Virgin, Mother, and Crone, as birth, growth, and death. I serve her in her form of Aphrodite, but she has 6 other manifestations which must concern you. You will not reach the Grail unless you learn of these 6 goddesses. Okay, are you going to tell me about them, sir? No? Ask what goddess says? Okay, here we go. Yeah, goddess says. So these are names of 6 goddesses: Athena, Vesta, Isis. That's a name that didn't age well. And these are their symbols. This is a symbol of Athena, who obviously the name of Athens in Greece is based on, I guess. I'm actually not very good at this stuff. I'm not good at ancient mythology and all this symbology and things like this. This is not something I've studied, so I apologize for my ignorance in such matters. I will be very ignorant. I mean, obviously, Athene reminds one of Athens in Greece, and so I assume there's a connection there, but that's just what I intuitively pick up on, not something that I know for a fact. Okay, so that's a symbol of Athene, so obviously like a modern day symbol of, like a female symbol, except with a triangle instead of with a circle, okay. Symbol of Vesta, okay. Kind of like a pi symbol with a U on top of it. So like UPi. That sounds like a good website. Let's upload pies on UPi. All right, moving on. What do we have? This is a symbol of Isis. Okay, like bunny ears. Okay. So imagine a cute little bunny fighting for Isis. That's a good mnemonic maybe to remember that. Or maybe that's a terrible mnemonic. I'm not sure. The symbol of Astarte. Okay, it's a little bit more elaborate. Like a, okay. Symbol of Ceres. Okay, so like a crescent moon with a tassel hanging off it. Actually, C. Think of C for Ceres is probably the easiest way. Oh, and Venus. I mean, of course, Venus is the female symbol, like the symbolization of all that is feminine. So yeah, okay, that's fairly easy to remember, I guess. Okay, thanks. Can we ask this guy about Gaza? It is not safe for you. It'll be wise to avoid it. Aren't we there, though? Jerusalem. Jerusalem lies northeast of Gaza, but you must pass through the desert to reach it, and you cannot survive the heat of this desert unless you find water upon the way. Okay, so we will need to... water. There's water between here and Jerusalem, but I cannot help you to find it. Certainly, as Hazm leads you from Gaza, he will see you have a drink at a well, but that will not take you far in the desert. Ask about the desert. It is barren, treacherous, and hot as a furnace. I have known of men who cooked eggs upon the rocks at midday. Oh boy. Yeah, I think we're going to have to brave that desert. I don't think there's much... All right. I think we're done here. I think that's all we need. So obviously those symbols of the 6 goddesses are important. We will need those later, but we've got them from this guy, and so hopefully we'll remember them. Thanks. You're most welcome. All right. Bye. You must stand up. Yeah, okay. All right, fine. Stand up. Bye. Farewell. Okay. All right. Check out these rugs. The guy's pretty colorful rugs. The rugs are brightly colored in abstract patterns. Nice. 4 plain walls forming this enclosed yard. His clothing and bearing are simple, yet his words reveal wisdom and complexity. There's no doubt that he is what he says he is. Even his name, Al-Sirat, is a clue. It is a name for the knife-edged path of truth that one must tread to reach paradise or heaven. Which means, Arthur, that he invited you here for a specific purpose, one which you must unravel for yourself. I think we already did that. I mean, he was just here to answer us those questions. The elegant carafe holds the brew quawa that he prepared for you from the small side of the cups. It must be quite potent. Okay, so I'm guessing that is an alcoholic drink. Let me just see. Did I miss anything? Let me just quickly check. Is there anything else that I can talk to this cat about? Let me see. Is there anything else that is recommendable to ask this fellow about? Let's ask... Hold on, can I still ask him questions? I know I've stood up, but can I still ask him a few questions? Can I ask about figs and quawa? Hold on, sit down. Ask about figs. In the bowl on the table are sweet figs that Hazm picked for me. Please eat them if you wish. Okay, I apparently asked him about quawa. I'd like to know what quawa is. Quawa is a hot drink made from brewing the roasted, crushed beans of the quawa tree. You may find it bitter, but it is most invigorating. All right. I guess it's not alcoholic unless it's fermented bean. I guess it's not alcoholic. It's just Okay. All right, fine. I think we're done here. But I thought that before. Okay. 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 Let's get out of here. Thanks again, sir. All right, stand up. Let's go. Bye-bye. All right, and now we come out here with the mule and this guy. All right, so this guy says the same thing again. I got here before you did. You'll never survive without me. Hire me, and I will be your guide. So let's do the following. Talked to Scholar. Let's do this. You can actually survive the desert without the guy, but it's hard to know how if you have never... if you've never been guided by him before. So let's go ahead and see what he does. Let's see, it's talk to the guy. You might at least hire me as your guide. Yeah, sure. Hire, man. Excellent. Let us waste no time. Follow me. He actually doesn't even ask for payment in advance. I think if you try to pay him at the docks, this way, Habib, follow me. What does Habib mean? Is that a good word? Or if you try to pay him at the docks, he'll actually say, I don't need your payment now. I don't need payment in advance. I'll take payment later, which is kind of good, I guess. But all right, so you walk up to him and he leads you where to go. So it's not that complicated, actually. Good, you're here, but stay close behind me or you may get lost. This way, Habib. We must go directly to the water. Come, the water is not much farther. This way, Habib, follow me. I have brought you to water, Habib. Drink before the heat overcomes you. But by custom, I must wait for those I guide to drink first, so please drink your fill. So, do we not go farther than this? If I say no... A mysterious request. Come, come, have a drink. Why do you hesitate? Trust me in all things. So, I think the guy only leads you this far. Now, there are a couple of clues here. The first clue is obviously that skeleton there. The skeleton could be nothing else save a camel. It must have died here some time ago. Now, why would a camel die here? Camels are known for surviving in the desert without water, so given that there's water right here, it's not likely that the camel died of thirst. And camels, as far as I know, don't run around wild in the desert. They are accompanied by people, so it's not like this was a wild camel who, I mean, the camel is presumably here with a person, so something must have happened here. So that's the first clue. Second clue is, look at the mule. Aye, 'tis odd that your mule shows no desire for this water when she is clearly quite thirsty. So that's a dead giveaway. There's something wrong with the water. And also, the way the guy keeps telling you to drink is also a little bit suspect. Yeah, come have a drink. So, all right, let's have a drink. Arthur, something terrible is happening to you. Too late, the signs are clear. This water is poisoned. It killed the camel who had not the sense of your mule. To add insult to injury, the scoundrel Shapeir robs your corpse. So that's why he doesn't ask for money up front, because he figures we're going to die anyway, and so he waits for us to die, and then he'll just take all our money after that. So what we'll do... Now that we know the way this far, we can actually restore the game and just ignore this guy. I'm not gonna hire him. We can just go the same way ourselves independently. It's not that complicated. It's just a few screens. And it was just to the right from here. So if you follow this path, you're fine. If you follow this path, then you can do that without the guy. I'm happy to see you again. You were lucky to find this water without me. I've quenched my thirst already. Please drink your fill. So, let me go ahead and look at the mule. I think you get points for doing this. So let's look at the mule and look at the skeleton. And let's ask Merlin about the water. Does Merlin have anything to say? The water looks and smells most inviting. I'm surprised your mule has not drunk from it yet. Yeah. Okay. So this guy will only lead us this far. He's not going to lead us farther because he's hoping that we'll drink the water here and die. But we can ignore him and just go to the right from here. It's a little tricky because the skeleton is blocking us here. But if you walk around the skeleton carefully and go to the right, and then go up from here. I fear the sight of you is too much for that poor girl. She ran as though you were an evil djinn. So here we go. We are now at a place, at a building here, which looks interesting. Let me walk up these stairs here. And below you, and a lethal fall from here, I might add, is a long pool of fresh water. But we can just walk down these stairs here. And now we found our way to... There we go. And the mule is drinking. The walls and ground are paved with stone. The water flows from a tunnel carved into the rock of the hill above it. Wait! At last I know where you are. This is the Pool of Siloam. Alright, so we can drink here. The waters of the Pool of Siloam are cold and pure and fill you with relief. Nice. Okay, so let's save here. I'm at the Pool of Siloam. So, that is probably the easiest way to get here. Well, I say probably, pretty certainly it's the easiest way to get here. You just follow that path that we saw. So you can have the guy lead you, and then just follow that path that he showed you. Or he can, I mean, once you've seen it, you can just do it yourself. You don't need to hire the guy. But it's pretty easy. Like, it's really not that difficult. But what happens if you choose the wrong path? Let me show you what happens. I'll just show you, getting close to the end of the video here, but let me show you what happens if you go off the path. Like from here, for example, I think from here I can only go to the right. Can I go to the left from here? No, I can't. But from here I can go, like for example, this way. And this is what the game calls the Endless Desert. This is now kind of like a... This is no longer a pre-rendered scene. This is now kind of like one of a handful of random desert scenes. So if you find yourself in a place like that, you can still go back. Like we actually went back here, and I can still follow the path I did before because these are specific scenes with these pre-rendered mountains or rocks or whatever. But if you ever find yourself in the so-called Endless Desert, like here, for example, you can still get to that Pool of Siloam, but it's a little bit trickier. If you ever find yourself lost, you can get to the Pool of Siloam, but there are two ways to do it. One way is, if you have the lodestone, which hopefully you have, say look lodestone, and it points to the north. So on this screen, north is to the left, as you saw. And it keeps changing every screen, so you have to keep checking every screen. So what you need to do is keep going east. Basically, just consistently go east on every screen, and you will still get to that Pool of Siloam. I mean, I don't know why you do it, because it's easier just to go down to where that water was and then follow that chasm and then go north from there, and that'll take you to the Pool of Siloam the same way. But if you want an alternate way, you can do this. So let's go east. And what you'll also notice is, oh, actually, that took us back here. That's cool. Can I... Okay, so now we're properly lost, I think. So you can see, oh dear. I might have wasted too much time already because it's telling me that I need to find water soon. Okay, so two things. Like I said, you can use the lodestone. You can see north is up here, but also one other thing. Notice the shadows. The sun is in the west, which means the shadows are pointing east. So even if you didn't have the lodestone, you could actually do this by just always following the shadows, because the shadows are always pointing east. So I'll go... Oh, Arthur is walking with exhaustion now because he's thirsty and I pressed keys which got rid of that text, but he had a mirage of Guinevere and Lancelot kissing. So you can see here now north is to the right, and the shadows are pointing downward. So let's follow the shadows, follow where the shadows are pointing, and this time they're, yeah, and obviously you can't see the shadows because they're behind the rocks, which means that east is up here. So we go up, and just keep doing this. Now they're pointing down. Oh yeah, also, can we eat a lizard? First we must find one. Okay. Next time we see a lizard, I'll try to eat it. Okay, now even our mule is suffering from lack of water, and now our mule's way of walking is changing. We're both dying of thirst here. Oh, they're just too far away. Okay. I'll try... Oh, this lizard is moving too fast for you. Okay. I don't know if we can actually catch a lizard. I think they all move too fast for me. All right, fine. So I'm just watching the shadows. I'm basically just going where the shadows are. And again, if you don't see shadows, you go up because that means they're behind the rocks from this perspective. So this is, okay, I guess we go this way. So this is obviously much more cumbersome. Like, this is really the long way around. There's really no reason to do, there's absolutely no reason as far as I can tell to do this. It just goes, it really just, alas, you did not find water in time. You die as parched as a piece of old leather, and soon your bones will adorn the sands. Oh, and Shapeir somehow finds us and he just teleports in and robs our corpse. Okay, I didn't, okay, let me try one last time. I don't want this video to go too long, but let me just very quickly, let me just like do this super quick, see if I can do this before any of the videos. I just want to show how it looks. Oh. I didn't even know this was here. Okay, this is a place with cobras. Gonna guess that this is not a place where we should be. This valley is filled with cobras. Turn back, Arthur. You will never pass through here alive. Arthur, beware. The cobra prepares to strike. Did I not warn you? This valley may truly be called a dead end, especially for you. Yeah, we don't actually need to go through here. That's I didn't even know that scene was there. I haven't never seen that. I've never seen that scene. I haven't seen it. But yeah, that room is totally useless. You can just ignore it. We don't need to go there at all. All right, let me try this again. I'm just gonna go really fast. Just gonna go really fast, following the shadows, and this should work. You just have to be. You have to be fast. You can't dawdle around. I spent too much time talking, and I guess the game runs on a timer. It's not based on how many screens you walk through, as was the case in King's Quest V. It's based on real time, which means that if you just like stand around and chat and talk and babble as I did, then that also, yeah. Truly, you are a hardy man to have come so far, but you need water. Waste no time and follow me at once. And instead of leading us to the pool that's down those stairs, he tries to lead us back down here. Yeah, he tries to lead us to this pool of water over here because he knows that if we drink from the other water, we'll survive and he won't be able to rob us. So yeah, so this guy is a scoundrel. Don't trust him. He will lead you here, which is like a good beginning, but he won't be of further help to us. So and actually, I think you can draw your sword. Yeah, you can draw your sword here. Shapeir likes not the sound of your steel being drawn. You have set Shapeir to his heels. Let us hope that will be the last of him. You have no strength to spare for chasing him. So yeah, you can draw your sword on him to get him running, but you don't have to. I mean, you can just ignore him, and he will he'll keep nagging you and saying, "Hey, drink the water." Okay, I think that's enough for this video. So next time we're not far from Jerusalem. So in the next video, after we drink at the Pool of Siloam, we'll go back out and then go to Jerusalem and continue our explorations there. So, but that'll all happen next time. So until then, thanks for watching, everyone. Hope you're all doing well and that you enjoyed the video, and I will talk to you next time. Bye-bye for now. Shalom.